We're back now at 7:41 on Thanksgiving morning with the race for the White House. Donald Trump still leads the Republican field, but Florida Senator Marco Rubio has been climbing the polls steadily.
And I caught up with Senator Rubio and his wife, Jeanette, in Charleston, South Carolina at some campaign events on Wednesday. And we began by talking about his plan to defeat ISIS and how it differs from the current administration.
Well, first, if you speak to our allies in the region, there is no feeling that Barack Obama is trying to put together a coalition with that sense of urgency. The feeling is that we're taking airstrikes, but they seem to be cosmetic, not well targeted, not well coordinated on the ground.
Over 6,000 airstrikes in the region, though.
Yeah.
I mean, how is that not coordinated?
But the way the rules of engagement of these airstrikes have not allowed them to be as successful as necessary. They've unnecessarily avoided taking strikes because they're concerned that if they blow up the oil plant, that there might be civilians, even just one killed. And look, that's always a legitimate concern that we have. But we must destroy the revenue source, which is the ability to generate oil.
You talk about the boots on the ground, potentially, with American forces. How many troops are you talking about?
The goal is to have enough special operators on the ground to support a coalition of 25, 30,000 Sunni Arabs on the ground fighting. And then our military officials will tell us, in order to support that, we need X number of people. It's obviously more than 50. They need to be defeated now, not later. They're going to be harder and more expensive to do it later. Militarily, ISIS is defeatable. They are not invincible.
If you were president, would you be declaring war on ISIS right now?
We are most definitely at war with ISIS. And I'd be supportive of declaring that, whether it's formally through Congress or rhetorically.
Since the Paris attacks, that battle against ISIS has also led to a backlash against refugees from the region seeking to resettle in the U.S. Your critics have said that your policy on Syrian refugees is all over the place. Would you care to clarify, where do you stand? Would you allow them into the country?
I'm only against allowing in refugees whom we can't vet. If we can't vet you, we can't allow you in. Because this is a situation where if you even get one person wrong, you can allow 10,000 people in. And if 9,999 of them are good people, but one of them is an ISIS fighter, you have a problem.
So you would turn your back on the 10,000 or so that President Obama has said we would take into account?
No, it's not about turning our back. I am saying that there are many of those people that will not be able to come because we will not be able to fully and accurately vet them. We just don't know anything about them.
From addressing the issues in Syria to the rigors of the campaign trail, Senator Rubio took a step back on Wednesday to help prepare meals for those in need, joined by his wife Jeanette and their 4 children, who aren't shy about giving their dad some political advice.
Our kids will call Marco and give him the little advice. Dad,
what do they say when they watch the debates? Do they then give you a performance review?
So they're all very different. The boys, I think, are young enough now that they
leave.
They watch the first 5 minutes and then it's like, we want to go play Minecraft.
This is boring. I want to go and
my 15-year-old is more about encouraging me, and my 13-year-old is a little bit harder critic. She comes up to me sometimes and reveals to me headlines that I hadn't even read yet. You know, oh, Dad, did you hear this? So-and-so said that about you. So
do your kids talk about the presidency? Do they talk about perhaps life at the White House?
No, they're proud of their dad.
It wouldn't be bad to have Secret Service keeping an eye on your teenage daughter. But I personally am not necessarily troubled by the fact that there'll be a couple of guys with big guys with earpieces alongside her, just in case, you know. And,
Do they ask you questions about why is Daddy running for president? Do they ever question his decision?
No, they're proud of their dad. They love their dad. I mean, that was one of the questions that they asked in our Thanksgiving breakfast, and they said, okay, what are you thankful for? And at school, I'm sorry. Dominic said, I'm thankful for my dad running for president. I mean, it's an honor, truthfully. I mean, to want to give back to your country.
Well, it's good to get out on the campaign trail and to see them in action and to get to meet the whole family.
Yeah, he's fascinating. Only 2 months till people go and start voting in Iowa.
Right, Iowa caucus.
You've got Donald Trump and Ben Carson who've been lapping the field, but now Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio, 2 senators the same age, rising steadily in the polls as well.
Absolutely, and we'll be watching what happens.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.